Hello Flosstube, welcome to my channel, All in Wild Stitching in the Fence. I've got a bit of a never worked with children and animals. This is Piccolo. He's come to say hello to Flosstube. Off you go, Picky. And this is Eric as well. He's come to say hello to Flosstube as well. The two of them are having a bit of a Barney just now. Right, so it's been a bumper month, hasn't it, for broadcasts? Goodness, I mean, really, we've had all the come with me's as well. Hope you enjoyed those. I must say, it's been a bit of a traffic jam, right, with the filming and everything and getting everything out. And that the filming went okay, but there was a bit of a traffic jam in terms of when we were at Wisley, for example, and to a degree Hatfield, the signal wasn't very good, right, the Wi-Fi, so it was a bit tricky. But good old Simon, he's managed to get everything sorted, and we, in quick succession, have gotten the two come with me's out to you this week. And of course, we now have the long-awaited WIP Parade. Now, before I go any further, this is a channel mostly about cross stitch and my other hobbies. As you know, those of you who've watched me before, I'm a mixed media artist, and my work can be found on Arlene Wild Art, or Arlene Wild Artist, and we do have a web shop as well for my artwork and all the homewares that we do from ours, which we produce in our small business. And the other thing I'd like to say is welcome to all my new put my teeth back in, to all my new subscribers. Warmest welcome. And also I'd like to send out a very, very big thank you to Stitching with My Little. If you haven't been watching their channel, it's fabulous. I really, really love that pair, mom and daughter team. They're so lovely. You know, if you're having a bad day or you feel a bit down, if you watch those two, I can guarantee they'll have you rolling in laughter. They have such a beautiful relationship together, the way they are. And they've told me about so many lovely things, you know, through their Flosstube, like Abercan I found out about, and all these places where they buy things online and everything. But they're a lovely pair. I really, from the bottom of my heart, just want to say thank you for them, for all the encouragement and compliments and shouting me out as well, and just being great stitchy friends. You know, I'm really enjoying being part of the community. For my existing I'm not doing very well today, am I? For my existing subscribers, I would like to say a big warm welcome back. Thank you for following the channel, and hopefully you will continue to enjoy the channel, and do remember to give me a thumbs up to encourage me, so I know that you're liking the stuff that I'm producing. Anyway, the WIP Parade. The long-awaited WIP Parade is here. Can you imagine? And it's just been a whirlwind of the last few weeks, actually, to get it all together. And I must say, I take my hats off, honestly, to all of you Flosstubers out there, because it wasn't easy to get it all together. It wasn't, honestly. It took me at least 2 days to get everything together, go through everything, make sure all the bits and pieces are in the project bags and all the rest. It was quite something. And for me as well, it was like a real how would I put it, a discovery mission, because like a lot of them are in there from 2021, whatever, you know, it's like rediscovering old friends, really. So, you know, there was also that. And we've, as I said, we've been on the road quite a lot, so that's been crazy as well. All the shows were very successful, by the way. We had 3 spring shows in a row, and then I had a long weekend at a quilt fair locally with a craft group that I go to, called the Pinwheel Quilters. Not that I quilt, I do a bit of quilting, but not really. They're just a lovely local group where I go once a month, and they had a fabulous exhibition of their work. So at some point I will share some pictures with you. And then last weekend, which was a bank holiday, a public holiday in this country, in the United Kingdom, we went away to Yorkshire, North Yorkshire, because of course we're new to this part of the country. We traditionally are from the south, you know. So for me and my husband, me and Simon, this is a big adventure, getting out and about and seeing another part of the country that we're not familiar with. The children treated us to a spa weekend, which was really good. And we went to a place called Darlington, which was very nice. And then we traveled along the Yorkshire coast and we ended up in Scarborough, which I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I can't stop out of my head getting that song, you know, about Scarborough Fair. You can look it up online. I keep singing that in my head. But no, I had a great time there. And I acquired yet another head tie. Well, actually, it's a scarf, but I do like my head ties sometimes, you know. And these as well. Let me come close and show you. There was a lovely artist there. Look at them little pumpkins. Look at the little pumpkins there. Cute. So I saw these and I just had to treat myself to them. They've got a little leaf on. And I had to show those. And the other thing about this head tie scarf thing, originally I'd seen a bag, right? You know, awesome bags, right? And I saw this bag. So the bag happens to match the headscarf, and I was contemplating whether or not I should have the bag. But to be honest, when I saw that it had a nice scarf as well, and I thought I could tie it up like this, that was it. It was a done deal. Let me see if I can show you the bag before we get into the WIP Parade. We are getting to it. Look. I love it. And it matches my headscarf. So that was nice. It's just a nice way. I like to do my hair like this sometimes, especially in the summer. I like to put my hair up and just have it tied. But enough of that. We're here for the cross stitch and the long-awaited WIP Parade. So get yourself a drink, because I tell you something, it is going to be like one of these American sequels, you know, like Rambo or something. Part 1, part 10, part 25. I didn't realize how many whips I have. So let us start with the oldest ones. In terms of what I've done, right, is I've tried to put them in sort of styles, because I am quite diverse in my taste, which you will see from looking at this. So I've decided age before beauty. So I'm starting with the samplers. So they're not necessarily my oldest whips, although one of my oldest whips is in that category. I'm going to start with the samplers, work up to the prims, and then we're going to see where we go from there. So I've tried to put them in groups for you so that it's not all over the place. I've tried to try and put them together a bit. Now we've got Eric here. He thinks he wants to help. You want to say hello and then run off? You want to say hello quickly? There you go. Now I'm going to have to get out of the chair from time to time to go and pick up the different ones, because there are several crates of them about the place. I'm hoping we'll be able to do it in one go, but it might be that we might have to do it in 2 goes. But we'll let us see how we get on. And I'm going to try not to speak too quickly, because I'm overexcited. And when I'm overexcited, I tend to go, and that's no good. So we're going to try and chill. Get yourself a drink. Get yourself your sewing. I'm in my stitchy chair, so all is good. So off we go. So I'm just going to go and get the first crate. So if you bear with, I'm going to pause you. Right, so we're back. First crate is here, okay? I'm going to try not to look down too much. I'll see how I get on. Now, what I've done with the whips as well, another thing I was going to mention. Now, what you're going to see are all of my whips, except there are some exceptions, right? Ones which I have within groups that I consider to be my designer focus. And what that means is ones where I have a cluster and I have a good stash of the patterns as well. So things like long dogs won't be included. I think I made a little note here. Hang on a minute. Bear with me. Yeah, because normally I don't have notes, but this is so big I might forget things. Right, so you won't be seeing my designer focus whips. What I mean about those is later on, we'll do a designer focus every now and again in between, showing you what I'm working on. And that way we will focus on those designers who I favor more than others, because I've collected a lot. And I can show you those along with progress, along with a pattern, you know, like a pattern parade as well. So the ones you won't see today, you won't see any long dog samplers, I don't think. My Mill Hills, I will show them on a separate thing with Brooks Books, because they both use perforated paper, and I've got a reasonable collection of those, and beads as well. And we'll talk about working on perforated paper and beads when we do that one. You won't see any of my Michael Powell designs. I have a couple of those on the go, but I also have a good collection of his patterns as well. You won't see any of my, you'll see a little bit of Rendell, but my Botty thread kits as well, I'm going to do them on a special as well for you. Drone thread, the drone thread, that one will also come out as a special. Blackbird designs, Barbara Anna Designs. Yeah, so those ones I didn't include in this, but trust me, there's enough for you to see. It's definitely enough. So let us start, as I said, age before beauty. Now this doesn't mean the samplers aren't beautiful, because they're very beautiful, but they're the oldest, as in design wise. So I'm going to start off with my blessing sampler. So this is my blessing sampler. I completed this in January, and I started it in January. So that is the pattern there. I bought it as a PDF. Here it is. It came from, that's the name of the place I bought it from. And I changed up a lot of the colors. I worked it on linen. So I'm going to try not to have too many bags, but we're going to have to tidy up as we go along, or is this going to become crazy? Now let me just find my board. Where have I put the board? Bear with me a minute. It was here a minute ago. Here we go. Let me just put it on this board so you can see it properly. Now, this blessing sampler proves to me that you can start and finish a project in a month, yes? Why does this not always happen to me? I don't know. I'm really pleased with it. I think it is on 32 counts linen. I'll put it up. You can see it. Here we go. 32 count linen. I think it is perming actually. I don't think it's what I got. So hopefully, let me come back here a bit. Hopefully you can see it. Right, beautiful. I'm really pleased with it. I did use a lot of my own colors, even though if I reference it back to the, let's just pull it over in here. And I changed up a few things. So if I show you with the pattern, you won't see all of it together, but that's the blessing sample. You see, I've changed up the colors. I've changed my birds to black, for example, rather than the orange. I've moved the colors around quite a bit. And the threads I've used a mixture of CXC threads, 2 strands, and what else have I used? I've also used some paint box threads, which I will put a link to. I love paint box threads. They're kind of like a pearly finish. To be honest, they're a bit like a sulky thread, you know? And I've used them quite a bit because you only use 1 strand instead of 2. And it's a little bit coarser to feel. So the paint box threads are in here and they are slightly variegated, right? That's sulky in the bird. But I'm very, very pleased with this. Very, very happy. It's very textured as well because of all the different threads in it. I love it. I love, love, love. And I managed to finish it in time to get my blessing. Which is like, And I don't know if you guys know what a blessing sampler is. I mean, look at this pot. You see, I really enjoyed it. You see, this one here, I changed. I made it a lot more interesting. So I made it like a sort of brickwork type thing. I really had fun with it. Now, a blessing sampler, in the old days when the girls were in the orphanages, right, they would be encouraged to do like a sampler at the beginning of the year. And that was the incentive was that they would have a blessing if they managed to get it done, started in January and finished in January. Having been I've got a big interest in social history and did history a lot in school and still take an active part. I suspect as well that, you know, it was partially, it was to teach, a lot of these girls were orphans, but some of them were girls going to, say, religious schools. And I think it was really to genuinely give them a blessing, but also to incentivize them to be industrious, you know, because in those days, industry was a big deal, and still is, but it was very much a part of their learning. So I think that, you know, it probably has some connection to that. A lot of the orphanages and schools were run by the Quakers as well. So I suspect if you were to go and do a bit of research around the idea of a blessing sampler, I think, you know, that's that. Some people on Flosstube do blessing samplers, mostly in America. I've heard them talk about it. People like Carol Saltbox, she did a blessing sampler and she has done quite a few blessing samplers over the time. So, you know, I think it's more of a thing sometimes rather than necessarily a religious thing. It's a bit of a challenge, isn't it? So that's that one out of the way. The next one I'm going to show you is my oldest WIP. Now, I don't know why this one, and I pick it up from time to time, you know, don't ask. Now, presently, if I can find the picture first, And sorry about the shuffling, because we're going to have to deal with the bags and have to try and manage them down, because seriously, I tell you what, there are several crates here around me. Several. It's a bit frightening. So this one here is if I'm not mistaken, yeah, a Moira Blackburn. You can still get this one on Bothy Threads. Moira Blackburn. And it's a sampler. It was a kit. It came with everything you needed in there. I bought it a long time ago. I mean, I reckon I started this the year before my mother-in-law died, and she died about 12 years ago. But I haven't, I'd stitched it and then I forgot about cross stitch. And as you know, I only came back to cross stitch like many people did during the lockdown. So that's it there. You can still get this one. I think they even sell it on Amazon. Right, now, I don't know why I haven't finished this. Now, oh, I'm going to take it out of this hoop so you can see it properly. But you see, it's in a hoop. What have I done with my card? You see, I'm terrible. You know, I put things down and then cannot find it. Oh, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Sorry about this. Sorry. We'll try and get it together. Yeah. So, you see, there it is. It's in this lovely hoop I got from Abercorn, which really is a hoop, that oval. I want to use it for a finish, but it was what I had at hand, so I just grabbed it. So I'm going to just quickly take it out the hoop for you. You shouldn't really leave your work hanging around in hoops, right? As we know. But we all kind of do it, don't we? And frankly, I find the work does recover. Sometimes it can flatten your stitches, but you know. So I'm just going to take it out that hoop for you. So we're just going to have a nice leisurely time going through the boxes of stuff. It's like Christmas. It was like Christmas because half of them I'm thinking, I don't remember that one. So this is my progress. And this is worked on a, I think it's a 16 count oatmeal Ada, which came with the kit. Now I have made a few changes to it as well. Let me have a look. So I've changed these birds. They weren't that color. I think they were a sort of light color. I didn't like the color. So I changed them to 2 blackbirds because I like. And this heart I changed the color as well and used a bit of Weeks Dye Works that I had to make. I wanted a different color. And the other thing I've done is change the trees as well, because the trees I really didn't like. And I think worse, after, you know, it sat there for over 10 years. To me personally, for my taste, I felt like the trees felt a bit dated. So the colors of the trees were supposed to be like that. You see, one was a sort of gray-green color. And it's basically the 4 seasons, which is what this one is about, you know. So I'm just trying to see if there's a name on it. I can't see a name. But it is basically 4 seasons. No, I can't see a name on it, actually. Yes, it's called the Time and Season Sampler. And it's got a lovely verse on it that says, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heavens, which is from Ecclesiastes. So, but I did not like those trees. So I'm doing mine in a dark brown. And what I'm doing is still using the fruits to represent the season. So really, this one really, you know, I've done a lot on it. I mean, truly, I've done more than half of it. And I really would like to think that this year, I'm going to pick this one up again. Because one of the other things we will do is, as we're going through all of this, I will sort of try and get my head clear to think about some plans as I'm looking at them with you. And hold myself accountable as well to try and get some of them finished. So let's move that one. Let's put that over this for now. So who else have we got in here now? Let's see. Let's grab the next sampler. Now this is a big girl. This is a proper big girl. So this one here, if it is what I think it is. Oh, well, this is not the very large girl I thought she was going to be. This one is a Teresa kogut. And I absolutely love this. I think this came out at market last year. And I just loved it. I just fell in love with it. Everything about it I love. I do like Teresa kogut anyway. And I do have quite a few of hers as well. So she will also be featured at some point in a designer focus on one of the episodes. Now again, she is living on her hoop. She's got a bit of work done, but she's on her hoop. You can't see her properly, right? So I'm going to take her off. She's got 2 needle minders because she's a bit of a greedy girl. In fact, she's not that big a girl. Look at this now. I've got the threads caught. Bear with me a minute. The thread is caught around the minder and it's trapping the hoop. Let's take that hoop off. Oh, Lord. And now we've got the needle minder trapping the hoop. She's a bit of a troublemaker, isn't she, this girl? So I'm just going to take that hoop off. I'm trying not to create a diabolical mess, all right? Because really, no, you don't want to do that. So I'm going to put that down there. Okay. Oh, this is one of her needle binders. Don't know where she's got a little thistle. Scottish thistle. And if I'm not mistaken, this is from Michelle at Stitch Mania Stash. She's a nice girl, Michelle. She's on one of my Facebook groups that I'm a member of. And this is another one made by me. Be kind. I made that one. Now, I don't know what's gone on here, but I've managed to knock all of the magnets off. The 2 magnets have joined together. Oh, dear, guys. Oh, it's got another one. Crikey. She's got 3 minders. Look here. There's another one. Really? She's definitely a greedy girl. So let us just move these out the way. Let's put them down there. I told you, the people who do these WIP parades, right, made it look so easy. And it's like I'm all thumbs. It's all over the shop. Okay, let me try and get her. No, I haven't ironed anything, guys. I'm really sorry, but I have not ironed. For one, I don't really like the idea of ironing my work over and over again. That's the first thing. This one is worked on linen as well, so it's going to be more crease, and I'm going to try my best so you can see it. Now, there isn't a big start, but there is a definite start. And this one, I think, is worked on a 28 count Zweiger dyed by me. So you see, I have started the border at the bottom, and we have just about to turn the corner. This piece of linen was actually not originally dyed for this piece. It was dyed for another WIP that you will see, and I had changed it from linen to Ada. Now, this piece here, I probably started it probably 2 or 3 years ago. And I can see the difference in my stitches, actually. I mean, I'm not going to start it again. I'll carry on working on it. And this is another one that I think I would like to get some real hours in on this year. I hope you can see it properly. I am using most of the called for colors. I'm going to fold it over so maybe you can see it a bit better, because I'm not sure if you saw that very well because it's so creasy. Hang on, let's try again. And try and come closer to you, because the pot is a bit creased. It's a shame. Let me fold it over. Yeah, I'm using most of the call for colors. I did change up some of the pinky red colors to make them a bit darker, because when I looked to see what the call for colors were, I didn't like those. That's a bit better, isn't it? You can see the beautiful pot, which attracted me to it at the bottom there. So yeah, and it's not a bad stitch. It's quite a nice one to stitch on. The material I'm going to show you in its entirety from afar so you can see it, hopefully not too blown out on here. It's like a pale cream with accents of pink and a little bit of yellow in. Now I dyed that for Consider the Lilies, I think, which is another WIP I have. But then I was struggling to stitch that on the linen because there's lots of motifs all over the place, and I was struggling. You can see a little bit left over from Consider the Lilies there. I need to pick that out. But I was not going to waste my nice linen, right? So I cut it in 2 pieces, and both pieces have gone to Teresa kogut, 2 different Teresa kogut. So let's put that away. Now it's going to be a bit of a long haul, but I'm not going to rush through it. We're going to take our time and work through it together. And as I said, if necessary, we split it into 2. Okay, we just take our time and we're going to enjoy going through. Because for me as well, it's like going down memory lane, you see. I'm quite enjoying it. Because when I opened up the chest, I thought, oh my goodness. And then there was more, and then there was more. I thought, oh dear. So let me just put Teresa kogut away. Oh, and I didn't talk to you about bags. Now, I haven't got many fancy project bags. That is on Amazon, made out of recycled plastic bottles. So that's what my the 4 Seasons lives in. And this one is actually a book bag. So this is the one that Teresa kogut lives in. Oh, and here are the colors, by the way. Sorry. I'll show you the colors. I forgot I had them This is one of my early made by me floss drops. So those are the colors for Teresa kogut. So that's the colors for the one I just showed you. See if I can find the pattern. Back again. I don't know where it's gotten to. I'll put it away. Too organized for my own good. Yeah, that's the pattern there. And those are the threads. Nice colors actually. But I changed up. The one I changed up was this one. These reds here. I put sort of a darker, a richer. Because, you know, when I was attracted to it, I was attracted to these dark colors, right? But when I pulled the colors, they didn't look like that. So I looked on my DMC chart and I picked two that I preferred. And these are just some little collage, you know, if you can see. And I did a bit of mixed media. It's got like a big sheet of card. I did like a mixed media on a printed background and created. Let's just pull one of them out so you can see. Randomly created, and then I just punch my hole and round off the corners. And then on the back, obviously, I write. And I do write when I'm using CXC or DMC on the back for you. And this was before I started to do my trademark 2 holes. I used to just have 1 hole. But I find when you have the 1 hole, when you pull off a few threads, right, it's a pain because you have to get muddled up. Whereas when I have the little hole, what I do is any thread that I'm working on or the ones that I'm stranding from, I can put them in the little hole. So, you know, you learn. And this is living in a most peculiar bag, which has nothing to do with anything. It's not exactly themed. It's a book bag that I found in the works. And it's a Harry Potter bag. And you know, I can take or leave Harry Potter. I don't mind it, but it wasn't by design. It was only because it was a good price. They were clearing them. But it's quite a nice little sort of bag because you have the front pouch. And then you have the back section, which I have the pattern in there, so. And then obviously it's got a few zippy bits. So, you know, and it's a nice size and the right sort of shape to take the pattern. So I saw it, I think it was about £3 in the works in the UK, which is like a sort of discount bookshop. And so I snagged it. I thought, well, you know, it will work. It will work. So let us quickly see if I can efficiently and deftly put away these without making too much noise and crackling on you. So that's gone. That one is finished. Okay. Who else have we got? Oh, this is an old one. Now, this one I started in 2021. And this also was a PDF from Amazon. Not from Amazon, from Etsy. You know what I mean. And that is that one. And it's a Redwork sampler. Now, a lot of these older ones, I think I'm going to be making some changes. And it's going to be interesting to see if I'm going to keep. So that's the name of the company there that I got it from. PDF. You know, this one, when I was looking at it, I do like it still. So that's my progress. That's my needle minder. I think I got that from Don't Step on Your Needle. And it says here, weekend forecast, cross stitch, no chance of house cleaning or cooking. I move the needle, you can see it. I love it. It's so funny. Now, yeah, the problem with, we don't have problems. We have opportunities. So the opportunity with this one is that, to be honest, it's on a 14 count Ada, right? And sorry, the pattern has just got. And I know this has the borders, but you know, it is quite big. This fabric, by the way, is dyed by me. Zweigart 14 count Ada from my stash. It wasn't a kit or anything. And I'm just going to do it as a red sampler. I mean, I do like it. The only problem is it's going to come out quite big. So the question is, I have to decide whether I'm going to carry on working her as she is. Bring her in a bit closer. Hopefully the picture is coming out good on this. Yeah, whether or not I'm going to keep her that size, or whether or not I'm going to start her again on linen. But actually, to be honest, I quite like her. I mean, God knows I'm going to hang her because, you know, from memory, because it's a bit big, I live in a cottage. But I don't mind the coverage on her. I like the red I've chosen as well. But you know, bearing in mind that's Mr. Cockrell, right? And we only here somewhere working. We have all this to do. The alphabet and that. So I don't know, but I don't mind it. I do like the color of the fabric. Now this one was dyed using walnut shells. I will do a feature or several features actually over time on dyeing. I've already recorded one, but it's in the queue waiting to be loaded for you. So it's a future one. But I will show you, give a little demonstrations as to how I do my dyeing. But yeah, I like it, and I like look at some of the, I don't know if you can see it. You see them nice striations on there, aren't they? Or modeling as it's called. So yeah, so I think I will carry on with her on the 14 count. It's a nice stitch from what I remember. Not difficult, very easy to follow. It's just one symbol, obviously, because it's in a monocolor. So no, it's not a difficult one. Not a difficult one at all. So we might carry on with that one. Because what I'm planning to do is now that, because part of the thing, the challenge we're doing, the Flosstube, and also going through this and sharing all of this with you, is giving me the opportunity to go through my stash, through my WIPs, really to be able to share and talk it out, you know, talk out what's in there and look at what's in there, and then making plans for the future as to how I see myself going forward now. Finally, a proper project bag. So this is a project bag made by me. And I did go through a phase of making a few project bags. I love it. Look at the patchwork on the back. The fabric for this is, there's a friend of mine owns a company called Deck Chair Stripes. And I have a lot of their scrap bags. And I just love the way I interwove that. I like that. And that one. And then inside, there is I used a tutorial online. It wasn't Vona Pfeiffer. I can't remember who it was. I need to try to remember. It could have even been Kerry. Tiger Lily stitches. I think it's Tiger Lily who did it, Kerry. But you see, the thing is, what I love about it is like, she showed you that you can do it with the invisible. So there's no seams. The seams are inside, is fully lined, and you do it all in one, go and turn it inside out. It was very easy, very quick. So that's that. So let's see who we have in this bag. Oh, right. So this is another sampler. Now, this one, a lot of you are familiar with. It's by the Scarlet letter. Let me get it out of the plastic. Sorry, because you're going to get the glare. And it's in double plastic. So you just have to bear with me. Right. So this one is very famous. A lot of people are stitching on this one. I absolutely love this. Love it, love it, love it. And this is a real sort of 17th, 18th century, sort of Tudor, if I'm not mistaken, around that period, classic. And a lot of the old bed hangings, you know, that they used to have on their four-poster beds would feature these motifs and designs. Yeah, by the Scarlet letter. It's called a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. Now, this is actually, in real life, a full coverage piece. Believe it or not, it's all a full coverage, because they're sort of imitating the old tapestries, which a lot of them were tapestries, although some of them featured a type of embroidery called crewel work as well. And you see, has all the little elements there, and all the fish in the sea down there. Right? Now, I decided I was not going to do it as a full coverage from day one. That was never going to happen, because I thought, if nothing else, the thread, the dark green thread to go on the background, plus I just didn't want to stitch that. So I decided I was going to dye a piece of fabric to do it on. Easy, yeah? Now, firstly, it was the first time I dyed a very dark color, a rich color. And it took me, I'm not joking you, half a day to dye this piece of fabric. Because it went through, I think I did about 7 or 8 layers. So I dyed it, dried it, ironed it, evaluated the color, added more color, kept going. More mixes of color to get that green I wanted. I wanted that rich green, which is featured in the pattern. Here is my progress. He is lovely. He's lovely. Why I don't just get on myself and get him finished? What's his needle minder? I think this needle minder this is from Etsy as well. I can't remember. Badger Shack. Badger Shack, I think that came from. It's either that or it came from Stitch Mania stash. One of the two. He's lovely. He really is. And the colors, if I show you the colors are just lush. Lovely, lovely colors. Now, some of them, because these are DMC threads, I think. I don't think they're CXC. So, I've got some on the floss drops. Look at those colors. Look at them. Just so rich. And it's the color combinations as well I love. The way the colors are put together. Which is very interesting. Because like, I'll bring him up again. And I'll take this off so I can show you the fabric. You see, it's the way they put these colors together. I mean, his belly, honestly, looks three-dimensional. It looks like what used to be called stump work or raise work embroidery. The way he looks. I'm just fascinated by him. The Ada, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's an 18 count Ada. I don't think it's 14. Yes, it's definitely 18. And I'm working it over one thread over one. Again, this oval hoop was one I found in Abercan that my friends on Stitching with My Little told me about. It's up in Wales. There's one in North Wales and one near them in Shrewsbury. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near me, but I would love to go back there. It was great. They have nice things and their prices are very good. Oh, there's more stitch than I thought. I'll show you the rest of the threads in a minute. Hang on. Let's see if we can make the card work for me. Let's put it on the card again. There was more stitch than I thought. And you'll get to see the fabric as well. Let's try and stretch it out a bit. So there he is. And I have done a bit of the border. Because it has a border all the way along the top. So there he is again. I'll move it a bit so you can see the border. Because I've done the sun. There it is. Yeah. It's either 18 or 20 count, you know. I can't quite remember. Okay. There he is. And there's the sun there. So yeah, I'm really liking that. And as I said, this fabric was a devil. But I was pleased. I love the green. I mean, it's not showing up that well on here because it's looking quite pink on here actually. And it's not as bitty looking in reality as it looks on here. It looks very fragmented. It's more like a sort of rich army green with dark sort of mustardies and those colors in it. It's coming out a bit sort of blown out on there. It's much nicer in person. But it's again another nice stitch. I find I can't stitch this one so much at night. And this is another one that definitely is staying in the stash and definitely will be progressing. Because I do like it very much. So I'm going to put it over. And I like the fact that it's one strand. Oh, I'll show you the rest of the colours because some of the colours are not on the floss drops. It's got quite a lot of colours actually. So, whoops. Let's see if I can get them in a way that you can see them properly. Let's see if we do this. See the colours? I don't know if you can. The colours are very rich. I mean, it's even got like browns. It's got like that red in it. Lots of gold colours, pale blue. Lots of nice colours. Yeah, so lots of colours. And they were all... Actually, I lied. It's a mixture of DMC and CXCs I'm using. Yeah, mixture of DMC and CXCs. The thing I like about the CXCs, right, especially if you're using one strand, is that they're quite thick. They're quite fluffy, you know. And I like that. It's a shame that the color was so... let me try and adjust the light a bit, guys, because I'm wondering if the light is blowing it out a bit. Let's see. I hope it don't get in my glasses, because that's the problem, you see. The light's attracted to my glasses. Let's see something now. Hold on. Let's try again. Because I can't help but think that that light was blowing out. Maybe a little bit better. Yeah, a little better. But you still can't see the true color. It's really a rich, almost like how you get army green, you know, like a worn-in army green. Like if you had an army green jacket and it's sort of aged, that's how it looks. But it's got little hints of pink and gold in it. It's come up really nice. So let's quickly get that one put away. And I just realized, rather foolishly, I haven't got a drink, so I might have to pause. I'm just going to pause and go and get a drink, and then we'll be back.